Drew's Cues time. Actually on a Tuesday as well, and it's going to be on it forever, so that's just fantastic. The intro for the last one went down well, and I'm going to do a different intro every time I do one of these, so...
I need to make myself
Hello, so the first question comes from username Tifa12013, and she asks, do you believe in the supernatural? Oh, the sun's just gone really bright. Okay, so supernatural stuff. I am a skeptic. I would like to say, like, yeah, ghosts exist, or no, they don't. I'm kind of torn in the middle because I've had certain experiences, but I'm also a bit fucked up, so I don't really know what is, like, real and what I've made up in my head, if you know what I mean. So, do I believe in supernatural? I'm on the fence, you know? I don't really know. I mean, like, I'm a totally scientific person, and all the science in me says, no, they don't exist. But then I'm also pagan, and certain things in us suggest that they could, and certain things I've witnessed personally suggest that they could exist. So I'm just a skeptic. I'm sorry, that's a very boring answer, but I'm a skeptic. Maybe I'll tell you about my experiences one time. Liquid X0X language. Question for you, what does liquid language mean? That confused me a little bit. What is social anxiety disorder? Do people react to it differently? And does it still affect your life today? Okay, so if you've known me for a long time, I used to have a thing called social anxiety disorder, which, I'll explain what that is specifically. So social anxiety disorder is a kind of fear of social situations. So, for example, going to a town or a city and just going to something simple like going to a cafe. I could never do something like that before. Like, I always used to have my mother or my brothers to go to the shop for me to pick up certain things because I just couldn't go. It's not quite the same as agoraphobia, because social anxiety disorder, obviously you just get anxious, which is some kind of like overload of nervousness. And like, as soon as I would think about, like, okay, I have to go up the road to get something from a shop, then my brain would just kick in, and it's just this bombardment of thoughts, like, what if people do this, what if people think this, what if people see me, what if something happens, and you end up just coming, like, for me, I became so overwhelmed that I just couldn't do anything, and it really did inhibit my life entirely for a long time. Does it affect people differently? I assume it would, because everyone's mind works differently, so for me it was just a bombardment of thoughts which made me anxious, and then I just couldn't do anything. But for other people, like, I know a few people where it only relates to, like, being in cars, or like being in traffic jams particularly, all that kind of stuff. And does it still affect me today? I say it's cured, but anything mental is never cured. If you've ever had any mental issues, then it's never ever actually gone. Sometimes now, like, Robert will want to go and do something, like, suddenly, and he'll just thrust around me and be like, oh, let's go to Dundee to go look at a fish tank. And then straight away I get pfft, and I'm like, no, I can't. I like to have a bit of preparation time. I've learned to control it, but I haven't actually got over it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it still affects me. It's a quick answer for that. Jason Cervantes, don't know if I said that right. Have you ever considered getting a tattoo? I have, actually. It's still in my head at the moment. I want to get a tattoo of, like, a tribal styled panther on my side, going up my entire side. The reasons for why is because panther's quite symbolic for me, and I would like to have that on my side because it would just be good and it'd look cool, and, you know, cool's cool. But I'm still torn because, as you can probably tell, I've got, like, no piercings, no tattoos, my body's not defiled. I've got nothing against people with tattoos. or piercings or whatever. Now, piercings actually I do, because I think piercings are, like, personally, I just can't see the point in wanting to stick metal through myself. But for other people, I don't care if you've got piercings. For tattoos, it pisses me off, when it's not even my business anyway, but it pisses me off when you get people who have just random tattoos. Like, if you've got a tattoo and it's symbolic to you or it means something to you, perfect, that's lovely. But if you've just got like a tattoo of a cat skull with a rose going around it and it just means nothing and then it's pointless, you know? But each to their own, I suppose. I got nothing against people who do have it, but I just won't do it personally. Denise Dunn, or Dune, I think it's Dunn. What is the biggest change you recognise in yourself between now and then? And she's speaking about my old videos and now. The main thing, itchy face, the main thing, change-wise, for myself, is when I first started doing YouTube videos, I was really shy and just coming out of my, like, depressive phase of my life. And now, obviously, I'm not depressed at all. Well, I'm a little bit depressed, but, like, you know, bouts and roundabouts and shit. Like, the biggest change, I'm definitely more happier. I'm definitely happier now. And I'm definitely a lot more comfortable with myself and speaking to an audience of sorts. But I think that's really about it, because I mean, my personality-wise, I'm still kind of the same. I've still got the same traits, I've got the same beliefs, everything like that. It's just I'm more myself then. I'm not like enforcing some kind of like role on myself. I'm just being myself, if you know what I mean. That's the biggest change. Good question. Junior Reds, or JR Reds, what inspired you to make YouTube videos? So obviously, as you know, I had social anxiety disorder. I went through this depressive stage. I was totally fucked up in the brain. And one day I was like, what can I do to get myself out there and try and cure myself of this social anxiety? And, you know, because I didn't have any friends at that time, I didn't go out, I didn't speak to people at all. So I was like, okay, if I can't speak to people in person, I'll speak to people on camera. And then I made a vlog, and here I am today. And what inspired me to do it was to just get myself out there a bit more and just to like be comfortable with myself to talk. And also, like, obviously I used to watch things like What the Buck with Michael Buckley and some other like YouTubers from the past a long time ago. And they kind of made me want to make videos before. As I said in the last Q&A, I think, in the letter to my 13-year-old self, I've always wanted to do YouTube videos. And when I first made my channel, I did do videos for WoW. I used to make this like kind of story based on the world and like using the characters and stuff. And then I totally deleted them all. So yeah, that's what inspired me to make YouTube videos. And here I am today. Thanks to you all. Love you all like little munchkins. Raymond Warner asks, would you marry Robert? Would you marry Robert, and do you support same-sex marriage? I support anything to do with equality for everyone. Black, white, Chinese, gay, straight, lesbian. Yeah, that's pretty much the basis of everything. So like race, gender, sex, anything like that doesn't matter to me whatsoever. So I totally support anything for that. And I've campaigned for same-sex marriage before, with the gay marriage rights thing for the UK, I think it was. So I totally support that. And to marry Robert, not now. I wouldn't marry anyone now because I'm too young. I feel like I'm too young. But obviously he's like 31, so he might want to do that kind of thing. And we have spoke about it like in passing, we've never actually spoke about it in depth. But right now, no marriage, no kids. Because I'm only 23, you know, I don't want to be like fucking stuck like that. Not to be stuck, but you know what I mean. It's just too much for this age. And like, relationship wise, we are okay. At the moment, we kind of have this like fluctuation of we hate each other and we love each other. So assuming because the question was like 3 to 5 years. In 5 years' time, say, if we're still together, then definitely, because we'll be solid. But if we did manage to break up, or whatever, then obviously not. But I can't say what the future holds, because I can't, I'll never, ever, like when people ask like in job interviews, would you see yourself in 5 years? I make up bullshit, but I really can't answer that question because I just can't think that far ahead. Like, that's way too far for me. Anyway, I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to say we get married and stuff. But realistically, who knows? You know, I don't want to be one of those people that gets married and then they get divorced like a year later. Because, you know, like when I get married, I want to be married forever. You know, I want to be like that old kind of couple bullshit. So that's all the questions that I got from the previous Q&A in the comments. So if you want to ask a question for the next Drew's Q's, next Tuesday, then leave them all in the comments below. As always, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter or Google+. I've started using that again. That's all in the description, and if you want to see me any of my other videos, then please do so. And if you want to see the last Q&A, then click here, and you can see that. So thank you for watching, and until next time, thank you for all your questions. Love you so much. Goodbye.